So, I apologize from the start if you can hear my family's activities from the background. I live with them. I can't really change that. So, here we go. I'm going to start off by saying that this will contain massive FMAB, that's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, spoilers. If you haven't finished but have at least seen the first 5 episodes, at the very least, for this specific part, you will be fine short of one warning. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go. You're probably thinking, Bones? If Trisha doesn't die, then there's no show. You're right on that one. Trisha fakes her death. This is some FAMA endgame spoiler. She's been dragged into a conspiracy and is trying to undo it as well as she can. She fakes her death and reassumes her duty as well. You'll figure that out later. For now, I'll explain how she faked her death. Trisha forced herself into a meditative coma. While she wasn't completely devout to Ishvala, she did listen when her grandmother taught her things about, well, being a priestess. Whilst learning alchemy, when her family learned of all this, they shunned her, but that's a story for another day. Trisha is technically an Ishvalan priestess with all this, remember. But faking her illness was the most heartbreaking thing she ever had to do. But with her mastery of alchemy and a little bit of alchemy, it was a cakewalk. She had to fool her loved ones, and she did that masterfully. There was one person that knew of this, and only one, and that was Panako. She was not happy about this, but she helped her do what had to be done after being endowed with the truth. Not the truth you're thinking of. I mean the actual truth, the conspiracy and all that. I'd rather forget my part in this, if that's alright with you. Panako didn't want the guilt on her soul, and Trisha understood. Drink this tomorrow, and it will help you. Just remember to tell yourself that I am dead until that bottle is empty. Drink every last drop. Panako recalled the instructions given to her. Unfortunately, Winry startled her during her last drink, and she dropped the bottle. Ah, shh. Her easy way out was gone. Now, remember me training Trisha with Ishvalan? That means subsequently, so are Ed and Al. However, there's gonna be one more twist to this. Ed is a girl. They bury Trisha and gain the same idiotic resolve to bring her back. That goes the same as in canon with the hiccup of Izumi. You want to learn alchemy. Doesn't that go against the teachings of your god? Ed steps up. Lady, we may be Ishvalan, but we don't let something like a god tell us what we can and cannot do. Please, teach us. She refused and they followed her. She eventually caved. She left them on an island and told them to survive 1 month without alchemy and answer one statement. One is all, and all is one. This part I am not changing. It is integral to their characters. After 4 years of training in alchemy and martial arts, the siblings return home to commit the greatest alchemic taboo. They attempted to create a human, to which they technically were successful. They made a body, but immediately knew it wasn't their mother. For starters, it was white and male. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Lost little pups wanting their mommy. You transmuted. It's time to pay the control. A white figure silhouetted in black energy reached for the siblings. In front of Ed rested a creature that wasn't very well moving, and Alphonse was nowhere to be seen. Give him back! Give me back my brother! You know what happened next. Pinocchio was having a smoke. Those idiots. They must have got it from their mother. Roy shows up in Risenbowl pretty soon after. Pinocchio shoos him away as usual after he said his piece about finding a way to fix their mistake by becoming state alchemists. Surgery and rehab take Edda about a year. I believe we all know how well the shooing off goes, right? Skip forward to the test to see Ed point a scythe at the Fuhrer. You really should never do this again. This is a hell of a good way to assassinate a VIP. She pulled the weapon away after it had drawn a trickle of blood and removed her hood to reveal her face. Before you ask, I bear no ill will. I may be a Schwallen, but I was born and raised in a mistress. You are my sovereign, and I am making a security suggestion. I almost forgot to tell you what she was wearing. You know Ruby Rose from, well, Ruby? She's wearing that exact getup. However, on the back of her cloak and resting on a necklace, she's wearing a white flamel. That's the cross thing that Ed wears on his jacket. There were a lot of gasps. Someone actually reached for a gun. Stand down. Did you not notice that she has disengaged? I'll take that to heart, Miss Elric. Edda Elric. Bradley knew she wasn't a threat at this moment, but he kept an eye on her. She was intriguing. Cut to the POV of an onlooker. Ugh. Damn it, Edda. I didn't fake my death so you could literally throw yourself into enemy lines. Ah, Grandmaster. I take it you are here to view this year's talent. She answers correct and goes to Ed. Greetings, young lady. I am the Grandmaster Alchemist. Your test was quite impressive, Miss Elric. I wasn't expecting to see a fellow Schwallen using alchemy. Now, you're probably wondering why Edda hasn't broken into tears. Trisha has transmutated herself stone-like skin. Her eyes are the only way you'd know that she was a Schwallen. And that's hush-hush, but extenuating circumstances and whatnot. Under the guise of Grandmaster, Trisha's name is Terra's Soul. The people who know of her believe her to be a half-breed, however. Back to the point, though. Terra introduces herself to everyone that impressed her. Very few, I'm gonna say 3 others, caught her attention. She knew her daughter was going to pass and would have her stationed as far away from Central as humanly possible, if she even had a station at all. She was still disappointed that Edda committed the taboo and knew what happened to Alphonse the second she laid eyes on him. Damn it, Truth, she thought in her head. Terra offered a glorious meal for the 4 that attained her attention, and even gave them tips for the intended research. Now, you get your watches. You must never lose them. They are proof that you are state alchemists, and that is a position in the army equivalent to a major. Terra holds out her watch. Her gold watch. Yours will be silver. Mine is the only one like this, since I'm the Grand Master. As you've most likely guessed, being the Grand Master is no small feat. It requires next level alchemical prowess and a lot of dedication, but allows far more freedom than being a state alchemist. The only one that could even give what you consider to be an order was Bradley, and that's the Führer. And even then, it would be more of a suggestion, and she would have complete creative control on how she carries out said order. I'll leave the Ishvalan war for later, we're not quite there yet. Tara makes it a point to be brief with the Elrics. She didn't want it to let it show how much interest she had in them. For starters, just seeing them made her want to bend Edda over her knee and spank her raw, but maybe later. She did all this so they could be off the board and they wouldn't put themselves on the damn board anyway. Miss Grandmaster, can you tell us more about your alchemy? Alphonse asked wholeheartedly. It took a great amount of willpower for Tara not to hug the suit of armor that is her son. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now on her alchemy, since it would be a really long discussion otherwise. Like you probably suspected, Trisha, or in this case Tara, uses earth alchemy. I said earth on purpose. Her specialty is stone, as it is made obvious by her body. She passes it off as an experiment gone wrong. One thing that made her famous was her ability to create golems. These veritable stone warriors came in handy for simple tasks and could be managed well by their master for such. She had come up with a way to handle more of them at once, and that is what sealed her position. I'll tell you that detail a little later. Her alchemy could also run on a delay. All it required was a touch. Many had begged to learn and failed. While stone is her forte, she can also work well with any earthen material. The creation of her golem landed her the official title Earth Soul Alchemist, but others have gone as far as to say she was the incarnation of the god of her people. That title left a sour taste in her mouth, and many agreed it was in poor taste. With the day done, Ed and Al had been sent to meet with Roy Mustang, their, or rather, her commanding officer. Tara made a mental note to have a conversation with Roy. A long, hard, pointed conversation.